Do it. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks. In 5, 4, 3. That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
Thank you, Papa Bear, Bill O'Reilly. Love that. What's up, everybody? I think everything is live and alive and going. We've got a lot of, I got a lot of freaking stuff happening right now. I'm simulcasting to Twitch and to YouTube. I've got a million freaking tabs open. OBS, we're a little bit overwhelmed right now with things, but we're gonna, you know what I mean? We're gonna hang and see if we can't get through it. We got Storm freaking watch, people. Where's my, I need my music. Thank you. There we go. Storm watch 2024, baby. Maine is under siege.
This is Storm Center.
We are being attacked by the weather, people. Gusts of 65, 70 mile per hour winds. tides higher than they've ever been seen before. Oh, we got to crank. Yeah, crank that. Yeah, and also definitely let me know about the levels, because I got a whole new operating. Let's just run it back, baby. I got a whole new operating system.
From WCSH 6, this is Storm Center.
Yeah, man, the OBS is like incredible. It uses way less CPU. It runs so much more smoothly than the shitty onboard Twitch program, so we're loving that. Yeah, so it's just OBS. I was like super afraid at first when I started using it because it was like too confusing, and the Twitch one, that like onboard Twitch streaming system was like more user friendly, right? It like made more sense visually. But now that I'm like getting going, OBS is way better. And the Twitch one took up like a billion fucking % of my CPU, and everything just crashed constantly all the time. And right now, I mean, I'm on my shitty little laptop that I've had forever, and I'm streaming to Twitch and YouTube. We got a bunch of windows open. Everything's happening. You know what I mean? We're doing the damn thing, and it seems to be smooth sailing so far. But I don't want to jinx it. Let's get some Lord of the Rings vibes going on right now. Yeah, so... yeah, we got a big weather pattern coming through here. We had a couple days ago, we had another one that came through, destroyed a bunch of like wharves, coastal towns. And then, 3 days later, we've got this one that's coming through here to like take down whatever was left remaining. So I thought we'd kind of do a dip into memory lane of the carnage that the last storm brought, and then just kind of see what's happening today. I got some cool live. Where are they? I've got live cams up. I think this one's Kenneth. Oh, shut up. I think this one's Kennebunkport. It's pretty cool. You can like go back in time and see I'll show you, but it's like you can see the tide rising. Because like I think right now, or maybe an hour ago, was high tide. Let me just switch this, or I'm out of the way a little bit. So this is Kennebunkport. Oh yeah, so look, you can see that like right now the tide, all of this shit right here is all like, I mean, I think if we go back, it's supposed to be like road and not the ocean. Okay, no, so, all right, so it was pretty low. Right? Okay, so I guess that's normal. And then now we can do a little fast forward time lapse. I love that. And see the tide rising more. Now this whole building is underwater. That whole like shed garage thing. My only knowledge of Maine is Saco and Portland. So Kennebunkport is like pretty close to both of those places. It's southern Maine. And it's like the rich place where I think like George Bush, I think it's just famous for George Bush having a house there or some shit. It's like a rich people destination town. But yeah, so this mother is underwater here, this whole building, and it's rising. I think the tide is supposed to be coming down, but it's like, but yeah, look at that fucking thing. That's crazy. Everything is under, unlike all the debris here. I've got a where I live, where like the apartment that I rent, there's a dock on the water, and the whole entire thing is like getting destroyed right now. The water's over top of the dock, so you can like barely see it. It's pretty wild. Let's see, what else? We got other live ones. There was some wild, did I pull it up here? There was some wild carnage that happened to, yeah, here we go. To like a bunch of coastal towns, like a shitload of houses just like this, like all went down. Yeah, I think that like with this storm that obviously came through like Philly and New York, there was a shitload of rain. I don't know if you guys probably didn't get snow, right? We had like 8 inches of snow that then melted down, plus the rain and then the high tide, so everything just got totally fucked. Yeah. So yeah, we had that rain and then the snow melt off, which caused all of this shit to happen. So you've just got like absolute carnage. There's a really good video. I wonder if it's on here. There's another town, Five Islands, which is where my aunt lives and my mom is staying at right now. And there's like this really historic house, the cookhouse or something, and you can just like someone videotaped it, just watching it totally get obliterated. Like I don't know, some like a section of it that was built off to the side. You just watch the entire thing like, boom, destroyed in the water. The Delaware is a tidal river, so it's still flooding a bit every time it hits high tide, even though it's not raining out. Yeah, I think, and I think they were saying this is like kind of record tide, so it must be happening everywhere. It's a foot higher than the last storm that we had 3 days ago, which brought all this carnage. I thought I pulled it up on one of these guys to see that. I'm just going to turn this off. Okay, yeah, so this has some of the, this probably shows, yeah, oh yeah, that's the house right there. That whole thing, I was watching this dude's Facebook page, who I just happened to know him, and I was watching his video. So this is on an island, right, in Five Islands, which is like this cute little, it's got a fisherman town. It's got a wharf. They got like a little like live lobster shack that you can buy seafood from in the summer. It's a big tourist place, right? And if you're looking off of the wharf into the water, there's all these little islands, and one of these islands has this like historic house on it, and it just got like fucking yeeted out of existence. Yeah, that's wild. Oh, I wanted to see the Portland Headlight has a live video feed just to check in and then kind of move on. But yeah, there was a bunch of flooding. It was pretty wild. A bunch of people's houses got fucked. Shut up, dorks. Nobody cares. Let's see. Live. What else do I want? Live. Portland Headlight. Just see this here. Yo, Professor Penis in the chat. What's up, my dude? Land's End. What about it? That is where the land ends. At Land's End. The giant staircase. This is from Portland Headlight, which is like the super famous quintessential Maine headlight that you see in every like tourist thing ever. So this camera sucks. They should have, you know what I mean? Why don't they have little windshield wipers? You know, I'm trying to, you know what I mean? I'm trying to produce a show here. Hello, and we can't see anything, for Christ's sakes. Let's see how this kind of, okay. So this is like this morning when the tide was a little bit lower. It's so sick that you can go back in time on this. I'm not underwater right now. Yeah, but yeah, I saw a bunch of videos from the giant staircase. My dock is currently underwater. That's pretty cool. You know, man, just Mother Nature is crazy. So that's fun. That's Storm Update 2024. And hit me with that music, please. Thank you very much. That's your Storm Update 2024. I need that weather map to not fuck up on me. And then, yeah, it should be, I think it's pretty much over now, like the entire storm.
From WCSH 6, this is Storm Center.
Oh, yeah, she's going now. Yeah, so the rain should stop, like, now. And then it's over. Cool beans. All right, well, that was Storm Update. One thing, check off the list. Done. What else did I say I wanted to do? Oh, I have a couple. I've got a couple auditions that I just got yesterday and this morning that actually turned out to be. It's sort of hard. It's the same exact audition. One agent sent me the audition for whatever, these two random parts, customer number one and like guy, right? And then this morning, the other agent sent me the same audition, but for like the spokesman thing. So I thought maybe, I don't know, maybe it'd be fun to look at that and see kind of like what it looks like when they send you an audition, the sort of description of like what you're supposed to, you know, hone in as an actor. Some of it's pretty ridiculous because it's like, look, this character, right? He's a dad. He's funny. He's this. He's that. You got to be quick on your feet. Improv, like all of this shit, right? Like it's mega super serious, and it's literally a one-word line. It goes like, "Great, thanks," or so. You know, they create this entire like, whatever backstory, and you're supposed to like really get into character to say thank you. So. Yeah, maybe I'll look at that. And then I have, then I had a couple like animations. And Professor Peen, you might want to, hey, my bro is a dork, Weatherman. Okay, nice. Where at? I've got two. So I've got two chats going. One for Twitch and one for the YouTube live. Very confusing. I really like threw myself into the fire of this streaming. Like not just one, just start. Right, you know, do 3 streams and then but do it to 2 different platforms. A lot of crazy shit going on, but yeah, I brought up some like animations and a real surgery of what the cabbage, what the also I'm wearing my slutty shirt today. I do have a shirt on. It looks like I don't. I do. Peekaboo. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to go through those videos and then kind of, I don't know. Talk about my experience, and also, well, I don't want to give away anybody's medical records, but I know, well, no, Kelsey, you've been pretty open about your heart surgery as well. Kelsey and I both have the, we had the same open heart surgery, but I think was yours for a valve? Well, I remember because it was in like a newspaper or something in Philadelphia, so I was like, I think I can say it, right? Yeah, so no, go down. Oh, you had a cabbage. Okay, you had a cabbage when you were 2. And another open heart surgery is at 5 weeks and 1.5 and 14 years old. Right. You really hit 5 weeks, 1.5, 14 and 2. You went for the quad banger? The whole goddamn cycle, baby. We're going first, second, third, and home plate. Here I am thinking you know what I mean? Trying to get sympathy. I had 3 where they went in on the side. Okay. But was yours for like I know that some people got it. Like this girl reached out to me after she saw my shit online, and she was just doing, it was like some sort of ventricle or something. It was like the valve, right? But like mine was, the arteries were full of fucking plaque and bullshit. So I don't know if you had a valve or you also have bad genetics and had clogged arteries. I was born with tetralogy of Fallot. So yeah, valve fucked. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, everybody else who has it that isn't 80 and morbidly obese has a fucking valve problem. I'm the only person in goddamn the world who's, you know what I mean? I'm out here, you know? I just got back from the gym, looking good, in shape, work out, eat well, and I have fucking clogged arteries. Captain Cripple in the chat, baby. Oh, dude, we were storming. We had a big storm update. I'll hit you with. Oh, I might have closed it. I think I did. I was gonna hit you with the Storm Center music because it's just so fucking good. Since you missed it, and I don't want my brother to miss out. Here, I'll hit this one for you, Captain Cripple. We'll just hit it one time. And hit that sweet, sweet nostalgia, baby. Okay, everybody, go back. I mean, Kelsey, this won't really work for you because you didn't grow up in Maine. But I want everybody. The year, 1995. It's dark out, winter. You just had a huge snowstorm. You're looking at the TV. You're watching the ticker at the bottom to see if, it's going Acton. Acton was always first for some reason. To see if your town is going to be close so you don't have to go to school. You got a bowl of fucking Cinnamon Toast Crunch, baby. Too loud? Maybe too loud. Oh, that wasn't long enough. Okay, yeah, you're sitting there. You're watching the scroller, dude. Acting.
From WCSH 6,
Binneford.
this
And
is
then
Storm
boom, you see
Center.
a baby Brunswick. School's closed. Yeah, dude, you gotta pray. At that point, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. You got your Ninja Turtle PJs on, and you're just praying to the weather gods. Please, have my fucking school closed. Dutch is back in the chat, baby. Yeah, it's Storm Saturday. You know what I mean? We're hanging, we're vibing, we're chatting. Appreciate everybody hanging out with me. That's awfully sweet of you. Would be much more boring and depressing had I been here by myself. So thanks for coming along for the ride. So yeah, maybe we will take a look at those auditions because that's kind of fun. Maybe watch this animation of the heart surgery. I've never seen. Though mom often made her own call for her to say, yeah, well, mom for the win, you know what I mean? Mom's like, mom trumps superintendent or whoever the asshole is who's calling school, you know what I mean? She knew best. Yeah, I've never actually seen footage of a cabbage, which is what they call the open heart surgery. And I think it was just because I'm not, like, normally very squeamish about like blood or even like surgeries, organs, etc. But there was something just sort of like intimately too close, like since I had this surgery and like went through that pain, that watching the specific footage of my surgeries just seemed like very scary and wild to do. So until now with you guys. Same, it gets me when I watch medical dramas. Yeah, and I honestly, I didn't know, and I don't know still now, if I'm just gonna have like a weird breakdown out of have the PTSD like come flooding back. That was the hardest part, like the first, I think it was like the first month or two. Yeah, exactly. The like the way that they separate the sternum is so fucking gnarly. But like the first month or two after I had the surgery, oh yeah, what's up, Sean Allen in the YouTube chat? What's up, dude? Yeah, the first month after I had the surgery, like every time I thought about it or like had to explain it to somebody, it was like mega PTSD and just like just reliving the pain. Dutch, I can't see my own blood too much or I get dizzy. Yeah, Dutch, you do have a history of being, what do they call that? They call it kind of just being like a little bit of a baby. You see a little blood baby, I think they call that. Because you see the blood and then you like faint. You know what I mean? You're like I don't know, some like a Victorian aged woman who sees a little blood and just and then just can't stand it, dude. Just has to fucking go down. Yeah, I don't know, Kels, if you felt the same, like retelling the story or just talking to people about it, if that like memory and the vividness of it all comes back. It's sort of waned now because it's been like 8-9 months, so it's not as intense. Right, yeah, you're like Dutch. And Dutch, a single male at the age of 38 has a lot in common with a Victorian woman. So I pulled this up, which is just like a video about coronary artery disease. I don't know if this, I mean, maybe this is kind of interesting. I'll just go quickly over it. Oh, thanks, dude. Oh yeah, I forgot I cranked the music for for Captain Cripple so we could listen to the Storm Center music and just fucking vibe and really get into the zone. So I appreciate you telling me that so I can bring her down. Yeah, so unlike Kelsey, who I've now outed in her entire medical history, I didn't have my surgery because it was like a valve issue. Mine was clogged arteries, like a, with peace and love, like a morbidly obese person or somebody who's just like 80 and has lived their entire life like gaining plaque and cholesterol through their arteries like normal means, and then they just clog and then you have a heart attack. I had some trauma about them taking the chest tubes out. Oh my God, dude. Oh, the chest tubes. The fucking chest tubes, man. I remember they told me, so they go, during the entire like before the process even started, they were like, oh, just so you know, like, you're going to be in a lot more pain than most people because you're young. All of your nerves are like active. And just so you know, the chest tubes will be the worst part eventually when you get there, right? And I remember going through everything, being in, I mean, I always say, like, I felt like if one fly landed on my skin, like that much more sensation, I was going to fucking blow up. I couldn't handle it. This is more Mega Medical Monday. Yeah, well, we're changing when we have an idea right now. Dutch is helping me with organizing my ideas, so I have something to talk about kind of every day. And Medical Monday is one of them. But, sometimes you have an idea and you don't have anything else to talk about, so we're going now, baby. We'll worry about Monday's problem on Monday. But, yeah, the pain was so intense throughout the entire thing. Like, I was just, I also couldn't, you can't breathe because you can't move your chest because the pain is so intense. So I didn't sleep for like 24 hours once I woke up. And I just remember like being like, oh my God, this is the most pain ever. And then they're like, oh, okay, we have to take those tubes out, which is going to be even more pain than you've experienced. And it was, and they weren't lying. They were very accurate and correct about their assessment of how much that fucking hurt. I remember I went like when you hit your head and it just does that like bing and everything kind of just goes white. When the physician, I don't know if it's a physician's assistant or whatever, she like straddled me like I was a goddamn, I don't know, fucking bronco, you know what I mean? And she just fucking got on top of me, grabbed those things, and she was like, I was trying to like keep a sense of humor, but I was dying. I remember she was like, hey, I need you to, like, I'm gonna pull on 3. I need you to exhale. And she was like, I need you to breathe. And I was like, bitch, I can't breathe. She's like, I need you to breathe big or something. I was like, I can't breathe at all. Like, I literally can't take a breath because your chest is in so much pain. And so then she was like, 1, 2, 3, and then yanked him. And it was the most like single acute amount of pain in one moment that I've ever experienced in my entire life. Absolutely fucking insane. I'm just gonna check a couple back-endy things here and just making sure everything is up and running the way I want. It seems good. Yeah, seconded. Good. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not alone in that. We're together. You know what I mean? We have that. And had we known that we would have had this bond and connection when we were working at Johnny Mac's together 1 million years ago, I don't even want to think about how long ago it was because oh boy. Yeah, so this is I wish I had more like fun, like a fun thing to do. I don't know. Is clogged artery video and watching a open heart surgery is a downer? I don't know. Yeah, I saw. I think I was there. Yeah, I've been there a few times, like and walked past Johnny Mac's or what was Johnny Mac's. And didn't our boy Tony, the guy who owned Johnny Mac's, he also had an open heart surgery too. I don't know if you know that, but a couple, I think it was a few years after we worked there, he also had one. But, you know, that's who you would think would be having this sort of open, you know, he's the gabagool, you know what I mean? He's eating it, he's a big boy. God, he used to get so mad at me, dude. Oh my God. He was such a dick. That guy sucked so hard. And I remember he'd get so mad at me when I would bike from Williamsburg to Park Slope to Bar 10. And I would come in like sweaty. It'd be the summer, and I was just like sweaty because I like just, you know, bike there, which was a totally normal thing to do in Brooklyn. It's like what everybody did. And he'd be so mad every fucking time. Him and Jeannie, what was her name? Jeannie? She was kind of a bitch. He'd be so mad I came like sweaty or something, you know? And everything was a fucking fight with him. I remember I got into a big fight with him about being able one of the beaches you're allowed to be nude at, like Rockaway or whatever it was, and I kept telling him that you could, and he was like, "Look, can't do that," and we just got in this like massive argument over, you know, whatever. It was sort of like that with everything. It was just like he was very easy to butt heads with. Later, Dutch. Thanks for hanging. But yeah, he was a piece of work, man. Holy shit. Yeah, that place was wild. It's like the people that work there or that went there, that was so insane. Like, and again, I say this with people like Sarah, like one of the all-time characters. Dude, if you had to serve in the dining room, you'd be sweaty as fuck because of the open because of the open dining room. So what do they even complain? Yeah. People in the dining room would hear him downstairs yelling at the kitchen staff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Sarah, I fucking love Sarah. But she's like a crazy character. Donald, also, I mean, I don't like Donald as much as I like Sarah. I loved hanging out with Sarah. She was really awesome. She did pass out on the bar a couple times though. I remember while I was working and like serving her, she'd be at that end corner by the window. And sometimes you just had to take a little snoozy poos. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have a couple, however many fucking drinks. It was like after every second drink, you'd get like a third one free, like a buyback or the third and fourth, whatever. Donald would let me know every single time whatever the deal was because he's like had it on fucking lockdown. But yeah, she fell asleep at the end of the bar a couple times. Yeah, who else? Oh, you know what? I've seen like you comment on Katie's posts every once in a while. I see you guys talk, but like I've hung out with her a few times at the bar that she works at on like whatever 12th or 15th or whatever. So I still see her. But yeah, wild times. It was like, I don't know. I think I just needed a job because it was like not the best like lucrative bar job for sure. Like it wasn't a crazy bar scene. It was just these regulars. And it wasn't like fast paced or, you know what I mean? There wasn't like, also like young people weren't coming, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, hey, I'm bartending. I'm like loving this New York lifestyle because Tony made the restaurant to serve his friends mostly. Yeah, exactly. I do remember there was a beautiful girl who lived upstairs in one of the apartments that Tony owned. And how much do I want to divulge here? She was I'll just put it this way. She was a nice lady. You know what I mean? She was, I can't remember her name. I can't exactly remember her name. She was from Pakistan. I do remember that. She came down. It was like the only time like random girls like came, and she wasn't even really that random. She just lived in the apartment above. Like nobody came in, you know what I mean? Until she did, and then she gave me a wonderful tour of her apartment, and it was lovely. Yeah, that was wild biking there. I remember I biked. What storm was it? It was Sandy. Oh, this is how fucking insane Tony is. That piece of shit. I lived in Williamsburg. Had to ride my bike to Park Slope during Sandy, or Irene, I don't know, one of those two huge storms. And the entire city is closed down. The subways are closed. Every restaurant's like mega fucking... Yeah, it was like everything fucking closed. And Tony's like, no, we gotta stay open. We're a neighborhood bar. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I don't give a shit what you do. I don't want to come in and fucking, like, why do I have to fucking come in? Make somebody else, like, serve. So I had to get on my bike. I had that, like, I had a green, it was like lime green with a little basket on it. It was the third, I don't know what they call it, there's some organism, some, like, arts thing. And when you signed up, you got a bike. And whatever, I got this bike from somebody who did that off of Craigslist. But, like, tiny little street tires, right? I got there. We ended up closing at, like, 7:30 because literally nobody showed up. It was insane. I got stuck during a blizzard once and told Tony angrily that I was stranded, and Brittany and I... Oh, crap. And Brittany and I almost had to sleep on the bench in the restaurant because we couldn't get home. It was just like, well, if you ever have to do that, you're welcome. Yeah, exactly. He would say that. He'd be like, yeah, as long as you're there, like, yeah, just sleep. And then told me I shouldn't complain because the kitchen guys walked 10 miles to get to... Yeah, he was such... I fucking hate that guy. I fucking like... He was like the most quintessential, like, just like, dude... I don't know, dude kind of got, you know, like, just, the worst. And, like, those are the type of guys my entire life that I butt heads with, because I sort of hated male, like, adult figures, authority figures anyways my entire life, and he is, like, the epitome of the worst type of male adult authoritarian. But, yeah, so it was, whatever, Sandy... We closed super early because it was fucking insane. And I had to get on my bike on this little tiny fucking thing. And you know, well, it's Park Slope, right? So it's a whole ass hill. So I have to ride down this hill to get eventually to my apartment in Williamsburg. And my ass got fucking, talk about getting yeeted. My ass got fucking yeeted so hard going down that hill. Like the tires were so fucking shitty and thin, and it was like coming down, super rainy, and the wind was blowing, and the wind blew me totally sideways. So I just like went like fucking 90 degrees, slammed. I remember I was like biking, and all the tree limbs and branches and shit were just fucking coming down. I was like dodging that shit. Felt like I was in Paperboy, like fucking what the hell. And luckily, I think I stayed at somebody's apartment that was in like Carroll Gardens or something, like halfway, because I was like, I can't continue to do this. I'm gonna die. Oh, that's a fun little rundown memory lane. Johnny Max. And the interview process was really weird too when we got that job. I remember. I don't know what I did. I must have talked some serious bullshit to get that job, because it's like the person that they hired was not the person that showed up for sure. You know what I mean? Like whoever I would put on some sort of like charming, like yeah, no, I love family, you know what I mean? And I worked the next day in the same. I don't know if you remember Sean, but Brittany and I had to crash at his house during the blizzard, and I worked the same. Yeah. I don't think I remember Sean. I don't even remember how long I was there, or how did I quit, or did I get fired? Huh. Maybe I didn't show up. I doubt that I got like fired. Maybe I did. I honestly can't remember. He was a lanky white dude, mostly hung around the lady bartenders. Yeah. I unfortunately was not a lady bartender. Yeah, I don't know how. I think I just got sick of his bullshit and then just never showed up again. But I still hang out with I don't know if you remember Dimitri and Tony, not the guy who owns Johnny Max, but the guy who came in. I still talk to and hang out with both of them every time I go into New York. Yeah, Tony's the best. And Dimitri's fucking hilarious and wild. But yeah, I still see them. Kate, and I go with Dimitri to Katie's bar every once in a while. All right, let's see here. What are we doing, Tegan? All right, let's take a look at this coronary artery disease thing. Or you know what? Let's look at since you're here right now, and I don't know how long you're going to be hanging, but I don't know if you've seen any of this or want to see this like animated bypass surgery thing. I thought it'd be kind of, I think this is the real one. Yeah, and this is the we're gonna go picture in picture. I knocked this camera. Whoopsies. I also have to fuck with my green screen and make it better. I just wanted to go live earlier, so there was like a million things I was trying to set up. If you stream and you use OBS, they like just came out with this new plugin that allows you to do the simulcasting to YouTube as well. And it's like, well, it's like anything when you use a new program, it's super complicated and confusing, and it's like very stressful and overwhelming when you're like trying to figure it out. I just ended up watching like this YouTube tutorial of how exactly, and just did it like step by step. But yeah, before I was getting ready to go live, there's a million fucking things to get ready. So the green screen was on the bottom of the list just to make it like a little bit better. Like at the bottom, it's kind of fucked. I can do this, but then nobody can see my, you know what I mean? When I try to show my chest. Okay. Coronary artery bypass graft. And this is the fun stuff we want to do on a Saturday. You know what I mean? This is just the chill.
And how it restores blood flow to your heart. A coronary artery bypass graft, or CABG, is performed to improve circulation to the heart muscle. In this procedure, a healthy...
So I don't know if this happened with you, Kels, like they take a vein or an artery to do the... Oh, wait, no, yours was a valve, so you didn't have the same thing. So in mine, they had to take... Generally, they take a vein or an artery, and they use that as the new... Yeah, you have a fake valve, right. Yeah, so with the plaque shit, they have to, basically bypass the arteries that are clogged and shitty, and then replace it with a new artery. Generally, and I think forever they used a vein. Like they'll take a vein from your leg. And veins are much smaller and thinner, right? But over time, which is kind of interesting and amazing that the human body does this. But over time, that vein will kind of turn into an artery. Like it will strengthen itself, become thicker to be able to. The whole thing is it has to be able to withstand the pumping of the heart, right? So a smaller vein isn't used to being directly on the heart and having that you know what I mean? It's right there by the big boy, by the generator. But mine, is it this one? Yeah. I got they took, God damn it, this is confusing. They took, hello? Yeah, they took the artery, God damn it. They took the artery out of my arm. So it's already, it's already an artery. It's thick, it's big, it can withstand the blood. And apparently it's supposed to be better and give you an extra 5 or, you know, whatever, how many years before you either die or have to have another one of these surgeries. And they can't, I guess they can't do it on everybody because the way that the artery goes through your, yeah, they did. Yeah, they went straight through the tattoo. Like, say here's the tattoo, right? And when they lined it up, it, like, everything is just off kilter, like that much. So like where the lines meet up, like there's a flower and it's just like this instead of looking like that. Yeah, they, you know, he did save my life. So, yeah, he gets a pass. But, yeah, so with this artery, I don't know, it's supposed to give you a little bit longer to live, which is good, right? But yeah, I don't know if I don't even really know
Performed to improve
how they did it. I was sort of I was like super fixated on trying to know everything I possibly could for like a little while. And then I think at a certain point I was like, well, I'm not a fucking heart, like I just gave up and like, okay, just do whatever it is you have to do.
The heart muscle. In this procedure, a healthy artery or vein from another part of the body is connected or grafted to the blocked coronary artery. The grafted artery or vein bypasses the blocked portion of the coronary artery, carrying oxygen-rich blood to the heart muscle. One or more coronary arteries may be bypassed during a single operation. Before the surgery, an intravenous line will be started, and you may be given a medication to help you relax. Cabbage procedures are done under general anesthesia, which will put you to sleep for the
you might be
duration.
given something to relax. To knock you the fuck out. It's called anesthesia. I saw the dude. I knew the anesthesiologist. Hello, who administered the anesthesia to me. I didn't know that I was going to see him. I was just like being carted down. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning, or it's 5:30 because the operation was at 6. And I was being carted down. We were like, it felt like some fucking basement. It was really weird. But I got carted down and recognized a guy I went to high school with. And we were both kind of like, oh shit, what's up? And I can't remember if they did a countdown, but it was like, they put something in my vein, like a, you know, whatever to put it in, and immediately was fucking zonked out of my fucking brain, gone. And I think I was under from 6 a.m. to I think like 8:30 p.m. So it was like 14 and a half hours I was under. Which is which is so much time to be like in the void of life and death. You know what I mean? In the black zone, in the twilight zone of just like, I'm going to look up right now. I think like, what are the effects on the brain from, how do you spell anesthesia? And is it with an E? Ah, crap. This is a problem with streaming when I can't spell. Hey, anesthesia. Nice one, Tegan. Good. You know what I mean? I'm using fucking Bing because I didn't want all my Google Chrome history to come up, and then so I have to use this, and it's not helping me out here. Anesthesia in the brain. I just don't know, like, I feel like being under for 14, 15, 16 fucking hours, like, that has to have an insane effect on the functionality of your brain. Well, this is a browser history I'm only using for streaming, so there's nothing juicy on this one. You know, I watch enough. You know what I mean? I watch enough people stream to try not to dox myself too bad, or like have some weird, you know, porn shit come up that I'm like search. You know what I mean? I don't need that. Also, there's just you watching, so as long as you keep it to yourself and don't out me, We'll be good. But yeah, I switched to Bing, which sucks. And so then it makes me look like an idiot when I'm trying to type something and it's not suggesting. It doesn't know what I want like Google Chrome does, but Google Chrome knows too much. You know what I mean? Google Chrome knows way too much. I don't want to read this entire thing, but anesthetic drugs cause brain circuits to change their oscillation patterns in particular ways, thereby preventing neurons in different brain regions from communicating with each other. The result is a loss of consciousness, an unnatural state that he compares to a reversible coma that differs from sleep. Interesting. I told a friend to log in, so maybe she'll be lurking in a second. And she'll totally dox you. Watch out. No, I know. I got to be on my toes. You know what I mean? And this is the game. We're gladiators in the gauntlet in the Coliseum right now. If I slip up, I fuck up, I show some like weird trans porn that I'm not saying that I did, but I'm saying if that were to happen, you know what I mean? I deserve to be, you know what I mean? I deserve it to be out there. We're in the fucking gauntlet. This is go time. You know what I mean? We're live, baby. But I took the precautions, okay? I'm ready for it. Yeah, so the anesthesia is just fucking wild. Who invented anesthesia? Thank you for once fucking helping me out so I don't look like an idiot because I can't spell. William T.J. Morton and Surgeon John Collins Warren made anesthesia history at Massachusetts General Hospital with the successful use of diethyl ether anesthesia to prevent pain during surgery. That had to have been like some of the fucking most wild like trial and error, like, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, how much is it? Was like the dude who invented LSD, and he took, I think, after he created it in the lab, he took what was like the equivalent of like 300 hits because he had no idea how potent it's like this is the thing, I don't know how much I'm supposed to take, and then he went bonkers for a couple days. This is like, how much anesthesia do you do? They just like give it to somebody, they fucking croak, and they're like, okay, maybe we want to dial it back, pump the brakes a little bit less, and then somebody wakes up during surgery like, they're like, okay, more, hit him with more. There was that I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there's that video of a dude who gets woken up from brain surgery. He was a musician to see, because they were like looking at his brain, and then they give him like a fucking saxophone or some shit to play while he's like, you know what I mean? He's got the curtain and his fucking brain is just straight open. And they're like, here you go, dude, play the kazoo real quick for me. So let's see if you still have motor function. I guess I have the internet, so I could potentially look it up. You know what I mean? Let's go here. YouTube. Brain surgery while playing violin. Yeah. This guy. Yeah. We don't want the 4 fucking minute version. Okay, we like 1 minute. British violinist. How much pain does she have to be in right now? Like, if you get woken up, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, like, I was in incredible amount of pain from my chest. I would imagine if I just had gotten woken up, like, you're feeling the entire fucking thing. I need to read up on Vivian Thomas. Is that who I'm just... Oh, no. Vivian Thomas, sometime for an interesting history on how he came up with heart surgery techniques. Or, if you want to be fun and said, listen to a Sawbones episode on it. Okay, yeah, send me the link. I couldn't imagine being awake during surgery. Yeah, it's like, what? She must be in so much pain. Unless they have, like, crazy local anesthesia or local anesthetic. It's just like, sucks. They're like, hey, can you play something a little more upbeat? Come on, you know what I mean? You're sort of depressing us. Can we get Cotton Eye Joe, please? Can you play Cotton Eye Joe? Thanks. Okay, there you go. Brain violin. Open-brained violin playing. I didn't get to test my skills. Where'd we go? Okay, I was looking up. I learned recently they don't just knock you out, but also give you drugs so that you forget. Because sometimes you might wait. Oh my God, what? That's like the scariest thing I've ever heard. Sometimes you might wake up a little or see things and your body still sends pain signal. No, bad. Even if they don't register, so you're in panic mode and it's just dampened. So they give you medicine so you don't remember that anxiety and stuff. What the fuck? So you're not even... This entire time, I thought I was in the fucking dark zone, like just in the abyss of nothingness, the swamps of sorrows, or whatever, just like not experiencing anything. In purgatory, mental purgatory. But you're saying like the body is still recognizing that all of this shit is happening, so you're like getting, what do they call that? Like experience memory shit, like where it gets stored in your DNA, right? Like trauma or whatever that people have, like generational trauma that's like basically then just goes into their fucking chromosomes, into their DNA and just passes down. It's like your consciousness doesn't know, but your body still does. So yeah, I wonder if like your body is holding that pain memory, and so at some point it makes a connection with your brain or something. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, that's so fucking wild. I remember thinking like when I was getting this surgery, or then I had spinal surgery after it, but like anything. Like imagine it just being 1930. You know what I mean? Like not even that long ago, and getting any amount of surgery with like, or the Civil War or some shit. You know what I mean? Something where like you got nothing and you just had to fucking endure it. Yeah, like 3 months after I had, 3 months after the heart, I had the spinal. But yeah, dude, oh my God, that would suck. I mean, it's good to be knocked out, but I do like question. It's like, if you're knocked out, I was knocked out for 14, 15 hours, like that's gotta be bad. And then having the surgery again, like 3 months later, where I was out for, I think that one was only like an hour or two or so, you know what I mean? Nothing crazy. But like back to back anesthesia, like can't be fucking good. Surgical 20th century saw the transformation of the practice of tracheotomy, endoscopy, and non-surgical tracheal intubation from rarely employed procedures to essential components of the practices of anesthesia, critical care medicine, emergency medicine. Okay, so that's just kind of like the history of anesthesia. Okay, let's fucking go. Here we go. Now we're fucking live streaming, baby. We're going on ADD tangents. That's what we fucking like. I'm going to close some of these windows so it's not going too bonkers. Now that I will dox myself. Oh, thank you. Oh, man, that was so... Did you see that? I was about to fucking show my email, and that would have been actually doxing myself, and I was like a fucking ninja, dude. And when it started loading, good thing my internet is slow because I have 1,000 fucking windows open. I'm streaming to 2 platforms, because in one more second, that would have been bad. Everyone would have saw the advertisement for boner pills that I get. And they know. They go, see, we knew. We knew there was something about him. But too bad. I'm like a fucking ninja, baby. Thanks, Gus. Yeah. Well, you know, sometimes the truth is you know what I mean? Sometimes the truth is just too funny. Well, that's another bummer about the heart surgery, and like because you have to go on so many like beta blockers, and it's beta blockers and blood pressure medication, obviously, because like right after you know, same with you with the valve. Obviously, it's like right after you get done surgery and your body is like healing, your heart is still like fucking giving it to her. You know what I mean? So you have to go on all these beta blockers so that the heart is now just like thunk, 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 like much slower. And that will sort of have an effect elsewhere in the body. So I didn't dox myself with the boner pill advertisements in the email. I just, you know what I mean? Just gave it to you flat out, baby. Yes. This week, you know what I mean? That's what you got to do. All right, let's see. Anesthesia before the 19th. Yeah, let's fucking go right now. I might have to bring this down. Oh no, it's already at 480. Interesting. Very interesting how when I hit play, it doesn't work. I remember I got to only have Tylenol and Tylenol and ibuprofen in recovery after I was out of the ICU. I think, and fun fact, oh god, stupid fucking chat. Oh, it didn't help. Yeah, wouldn't think so. Yeah, Tylenol. Yeah, because like you're after the heart shit. It's like well, I got some pretty wild drugs. What was I on? The one that starts with a D. That's fuck. It's like a pretty intense opiate. Where did I go with this fucking chat? If you don't realize you use your chest, you don't realize you use your chest muscles to like move your pain. Yeah, everything. As soon as you have like this intense pain, like when everything is ripped open, every movement, everything that you fucking do, like just seems like it all comes from fucking right here. I didn't even get to have codeine because it upset my stomach. Oh, see, yeah. That's on you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You got to have a fucking talk with your stomach. You know, at that point, you're like, hey, look, you know what I mean? We got a lot of other shit going on. I don't need you to be such a fucking diva right now. You know what I mean? It's like, let's fucking step it up for the team. You know what I mean? Let's be a team player. Upset my stomach, and could you imagine throwing up? Yeah, dude. Oh my fucking god. I can it's hard to. I mean, I sort of remember right now, but I remember remembering when I was in pain right after, and I was like, if I throw up right now, I'm going to die. I'm going to cease to exist. I got morphine in the ICU and then basically higher doses of Yeah, so I got Professor Peen back in the chat. What's up, dog? I had this thing happen to me where I was in so much pain leading up to my surgery because like I was having heart attacks. Actually, Professor Peen in the chat is the one who came to my house because I didn't want to call the ambulance to bring me to the emergency room. That got me on the roller coaster of then going immediately to Maine Med to have emergency open heart surgery. So shout out to Professor Peen in the chat for saving lives. I was already in so much pain, so when I got to the hospital, they gave me like a fuck ton of anxiety and pain medicine, right? And I'm just like, I was on it because my chest, everything was like seizing, so I was in all of this pain. So then when I had the surgery, and I woke up, I was doing what they call, I was playing catch up to the pain medicine, right? So my pain, I then developed tolerance, basically. So my pain was like, hard to do it, like here, and I just had to keep on trying to take the pain medicine to catch up, but it never would catch up. So no matter how much they gave me, it just didn't help because my body got used to it. And whereas normal people would come out and they'd like, bam, inject them with some fucking, Dilaudid. Oh, that's what it was. It's like Dilaudid, and they'd go like fucking Mr. Burns style, like, like eyes fucking, and just feeling light as a feather and fine. It just wasn't having any effect on me. And I'm like looking, I'm like, listen, I need you to give me more drugs. And they're like, dude, I can't give you any more. Like, you'll die. And I was like, okay. At that point, I was like, fine, I don't care. I just don't want to feel it. But yeah, so none of that fucking pain medicine helped at all. And like I said, because same thing with you, Kels. Like when you're young, all your nerves and cartilage, everything is still going. You know what I mean? Yeah. If he dies, he dies. Yeah, everything is still fucking good. So the pain is like at maximum, whatever, and just like I couldn't do anything to get the pain down, which was part of the problem. And then there's a whole there's a Sadie saga, which is the nurse that I had, fell in love. It was a whole thing. God, love came, love lost. You know, I was there. It was like what do they call it? A mockingbird. What's the fucking syndrome? Nightingale, Florence Nightingale, something. Nightingale. When you fall in love with like your nurse, the nurse falls in love with their patient. Maybe some HIPAA agreements were crossed. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't want to dox my nurse that I fell in love with, but she also did break my heart again. You know what I mean? So fuck her. Okay, is this fucking anesthesia thing gonna play now? What is this? Oh, I was going to watch this story. There's a body cam of a woman that was arrested. It's actually fucking insane. And being, well, yeah, maybe. Now I got ADD brain. I'm bouncing all over the place. But I was like, while I was doing research of shit to just talk about or think of something, I just randomly saw this video. It was like body cam, woman arrested for playing with herself on the beach. And then it gets so fucking dark. Like you think, oh, okay, kind of funny. Like, oh, whatever. And she's like pretty attractive and young and like not a freakazoid weirdo. Like if it was a dude who was playing with himself on the beach, it would obviously be like, some kind of psycho freak, maybe a Professor Penis type. And so people called in and then said like, oh, she was doing that, and then finally she admits it, and it's so embarrassing and cringe and like hard to watch. She was stressed out. She just put it anyway. So she ended up. Here comes the downer. She ends up unaliving herself because this body cam footage got released, and she had like two kids, like a 19-year-old kid. She was like a real estate agent. They end up like arresting her, and I brought this up and I was going to talk about it. I was like, oh, it's too much of a downer. I don't think I am going to talk about it. And then apparently I left the tab open. But yeah, she whoops, not good. Sometimes sometimes it's better just to hold off. Almost every time it's actually better to hold off. You know what I mean? Does this video just not have audio?
They were occasionally used by top surgeons of the time. The practice of surgery predates human civilization, and the idea of anesthesia is as old as surgery. We can even see it in the biblical creation story, where God removes a rib from Adam while he was in a deep sleep. And from other ancient societies, we have an abundance of
like, hey, we don't have anesthesia yet, but we can give you some acupuncture. Is that, what if we just stick a couple needles in you before we do this? How does that feel? How does this feel? Do you still feel this? You're like, yeah, dude. Yeah, I feel it, and now there's a fucking needle in my neck.
For an operation, with examples of people either using manual techniques to knock someone out, as well as various drugs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like acupuncture already hurts. It's like, what are you doing here? They're like, hey, it's like a. You remember classic Major Payne reference here, when in Major Payne where he's like, he breaks the guy's finger and he's like, see, look, you're not worried about your leg anymore. You know, now your finger's fucking broke. So they just jab you with a fucking acupuncture and they're like, oh, now you don't feel the other thing. Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit, they call that the Kansas City Shuffle in medical terms. They go, you look one way, and then they fucking break you.
In terms of non-pharmacological methods, We have documentation from ancient Assyria, where surgeons applied pressure to both carotid arteries before an operation, which would cause the
It's like, dude, all of this shit is just like so out of pocket, not real. Like, no, doesn't work, idiot. They're like, we fucking put leeches on your penis, and then we thought that would, you know what I mean? They'd do something stupid, or like put some maggots in your ears. It's like, no, dude, none of that shit worked. We hung a witch, actually. We found a woman outside, and she kind of looked strange, so we just hung her quick and burned her, and I think that's going to make it easier for you. We brought her ashes, and now we're going to put it around the table. They're like, you know what I mean? Anything that they can do.
And there's other examples of drug-free anesthesia throughout history, including just simply giving a knockout blow to the head. And as late as the 19th century, hypnotism was used to put people to sleep. Now, the three main principles of anesthesia are sedation, pain relief, and muscle relaxation, which means that if you could find a substance that affects the body in one or more of these ways, it can in theory be used as an anesthetic agent. So you won't be surprised to learn that dozens of different drugs have been used by surgeons throughout the ages, in an attempt to moving west to England around the time of William Shakespeare. The mixture of choice was an alcoholic drink called Dwell, which also contained other
so there, I was doing some other video. I like to imagine muscle relaxation is just a nice massage. Yeah, they're like, yeah, here you go. We're just gonna relax your muscles. Get that. They're like, hey, we're just gonna relax your muscle. Get the knife. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna do a little bit of pressure. See that? I think you got a little bit of a knot now, and then slice them open. I was doing research. I was doing some video on Mayans or something, and I was watching how they would basically the same exact thing here. They would get these kids drunk and super high for like a week, right? Like they were on a fucking mega bender. This was like what I used to do in Brooklyn, just be on a 7-day fucking bender. But they would get them super high and super drunk, and they were like 9 before they like threw them in a fucking volcano to sacrifice them. So it's basically just the same ideology, just like get you really fucked up. I mean, that's all that's all they could do.
Hemlock and opium.
Mandrake, isn't that like some Harry Potter shit? That's not real, right? Wait, Mandrake, isn't that like the thing that comes alive or something in fucking Pan's Labyrinth? You know, that's not real.
Numerous documentation of the use of these substances for surgery. None of these really made their way into standard surgical practice wherever they were used. The most likely reason for this was because of the very strong religious beliefs at the time.
Oh yeah, oh great, classic. Like all the anarchists or atheists are like, bro, I can't, you know what I mean? You like killed my whole family, you know, you like invaded because of Jesus or whoever, you know, everybody's dead. And now I don't even believe this shit. And now I have to suffer. They're like, I have to suffer during a surgery because Christ suffered? Are you out of your fucking mind, dude? All the time with these people. You know what I mean? All the time. These freakazoids with the religion. Always just doing shit ass backwards. Why? Just chill, dude.
Parts of life. So any attempt to prevent it could be seen as being sinful. Surgery was also still a very imprecise field of medicine, and only used as a very large
That's a great picture. This is an accurate depiction. This is what a documentary was in the 1700s. Some Renaissance man just did this painting of actual surgery and a guy fucking losing his mind. At least it was hygienic, probably, right? They knew all about. I think they didn't know about. Right? They didn't know about bacteria or viruses until like the 1900s, right? Like they didn't know that like wounds festering and shit. I'm almost positive. Like that was when they wore those big nose masks in the plague era, and it was after that they discovered like you have to clean a fucking wound. Like they were like, no, just it's fine. Like pour some fucking incense or smoke on it. So yeah, these motherfuckers weren't cleaning shit. It was something to do with women giving birth. or something. My mind, I'm sort of getting a little bit of a flare of knowledge. Come on, Tegan, you got it. You can be smart. Come on, reach deep, baby. Make your teachers proud. Something about women giving birth and like there's such a high mortality rate, and they like didn't know why, right? And they're like, why is everybody dying? Oh, right, because they weren't washing their hands. Yes, this is real. Aha, I know facts. I know things. Aha, that's happening. They weren't washing their hands, and that's how they figured out that there was like germs. That there's these things called germs, because all these women were dying in labor because they would put their hands inside of them to get the baby out, and then they would. And the guy, oh yeah, the dude, like was just at the mortuary working on a cadaver, and then was like, like, sir, whatever, this woman's in labor giving birth, and he's like, yeah, be right there. Surgeons used to want it to be dirty because it showed off how hard that. Yeah, classic dudes. They're like, see, I'm doing things. Yeah, they're like, the more blood, the better. Look at that. Look what I've done. I did everything. They're dead. They just kind of like put their elbow in the blood, like, look, I tried as hard as I could. Yeah, and because of the bacteria they went from the cadaver to the uterus, just bing bong, just one to the other, and then that's why everybody was dying. And so the surgeon was like, "No, guys, I think germs," and they were like, "What? Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly." Someone's like, hey, can we like think about what we're doing and maybe do something different? They're like, burn the dude, kill him. He's a fucking idiot. Ugh. So fucking classic.
When it was done, the main aim of surgery was to operate as fast as possible to limit how long the pain lasts. But this would all change during the mid-19th century. As thinking became more enlightened, surgery was becoming more advanced, and anesthesia would eventually become its own specialized field of medicine.
Nitrous. Okay, now let's get the party started.
The story of modern anesthesia begins with nitrous oxide. It was first discovered in 1772, and 30 years after its discovery, an English chemist realized that it was a pain reliever and also caused him to giggle, so he gave it the nickname laughing gas. Humphrey Davy
Best part about going to the dentist?
back in 1799 that it could be potentially used for surgeries.
I think the last couple times I went to the dentist, I was giving laughing gas, and I was just like this, like, I'm like, bro, I kind of partied really hard in high school. I went to there's this really shitty town called Lewiston, and you might know it for where the mass shooting just happened in Maine. But before that, it was shitty in a different way. There was this like head shop that you could just buy like 20 packs of the little nitrous containers for whippets, and so we'd always go. You just have to have somebody has to be like 17, I think, to buy them or something, or 18 maybe, or maybe not. I don't even know. But yeah, you just get like these cases of those things and just fucking hit them. So I was in the doctor's chair. I'm like, bro, come on. You know what I mean? I was doing more than this when I was 16.
Someone to actually try it out. This person was Horace Wells, who was an American dentist. It happened quite by accident in 1844.
Never trusted dentists.
When he was in the city of Hartford, Connecticut, and he was watching a live show that was demonstrating the effects of nitrous oxide when you inhaled it. One of the audience members were put under the influence of nitrous oxide during this.
Like, what? Look at this idiot.
And
well, look how good our drug is. Watch him dance, monkey.
The person had clear bruises and cuts to his knees from this, but he couldn't feel a thing, which led Horace Wells to see great potential in this gas.
So this is, I mean, this is 1750. I mean, like, you know, obviously, historically speaking, not very long ago at all. And just a millennia of nothing. Oh my God, I wish I could show you my dog who's right beside me. He's like on his back, just fully exposed, all four legs just out, in a very hilarious position. I got to get a pup cam like my boy Hassan has on his stream. Nitrous, modern anesthesia. Yeah, let's jump to this.
Now, even though Morton probably wasn't the first person to use ether as an anesthetic, his successful operation can be credited with proving to the world that anesthesia can be used safely and effectively. It was actually chloroform that would become popular in Europe the very next year, after it was introduced by the English obstetrician James Simpson, because it caused less.
I do. You know what I mean? You got to give it up to the doctors, to scientists, whoever, who test that shit on themselves. Like that dude I was telling you, like the guy who invented LSD, who just took, is like, you have no idea what the potency is or efficacy or whatever. And yeah, this dude just like chloroform, just fucking chloroforming himself with the, he's got the rag right down there and everything. He's like, I wonder what's going to happen here. And dead.
Than ether when it was inhaled. Chloroform was used by the famous Dr. John Snow to assist in the birth of Queen Victoria's child in 1853, which was a widely publicized event, and made it so that the general public would accept the prospect of being anesthetized. After the events of the ether dome, a new field of doctors emerged who trained specifically as anesthetists, and with the help of the development of the antiseptic technique by Joseph Lister, surgery would become a safer and painless experience.
1860s. What a time to be alive.
The complexity of operations that could be performed increased greatly from the 1860s onwards, because surgeons could now be slow and methodical with the operations.
Fuck, man.
Despite these previous...
Just like anything. I was kind of thinking about it with my heart, the spine, and even like maybe it was longer. A couple years ago, I got a staph infection from jiu-jitsu, which was gross and shitty, but whatever, it happens. And I was like, all of these things would have been killers. Like I had the staph infection that I had from the jiu-jitsu mats or the person, whoever I was rolling with. It got so bad. Like they gave me a bunch of penicillin, which obviously wasn't around up until like the 1900s or whatever the fuck that was discovered. They gave me that. Didn't work. Yeah. And it's disgusting and so sweaty, and it's so many different guys. The cocktail mix of disgusting man sweat and then when you're doing it, and you just got sweaty balls in your face. Everything is just like, sometimes I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why am I I don't know if I enjoy this enough to really have this be the outcome. I'm fucking gross. But yeah, so they didn't even have penicillin there. So I took all the fucking shit. Nothing happened. I ended up having to go to the hospital, I think it was like 4 days in a row, and get like 4 hours of intravenous penicillin. And I just remember thinking the entire time, I'm like, bro, I'd be so fucking dead. Like, if this was any other time before, the arm, or at best case, like arm gone, right? They're like, however far the infection goes, clamp it down and fucking take it off. And, there wouldn't have been any of these anesthesia drugs, so it's just like, grip it and rip it, baby. Hey, we got a first-time chatter. Diggs, BTW7, what is up? What's up, Diggs? We're just going down a little history train of anesthesia, surgery. We're telling our surgery story. If you have a fun surgery story, tell us in the chat. We're talking about all the times that we would have died if we lived 100 years ago, which is basically anything. You stub your toe, you're dead. You know what I mean? A little bit of a headache, dead. They're like, hey, man, we got to cut it off. You're like, yeah, well, it's my head. They're like, yeah, sorry, dude, it's got to go. We love Diggs. Diggs, I don't know, Diggs, you following the channel? Follow the channel, Diggs. I don't know, maybe you are already, but give us a follow, would you?
Advancements.
We love that. We love a follow.
By no means finished with its development. Doctors found out that sometimes you didn't need general anesthesia for surgery, especially if it was a minor operation. This led to the introduction
No, it's like, no, actually I do. No matter what the surgery is back then, it's like, no, just put, because, just put me out, man. That's the other thing. After doing the the heart surgery after the anesthesia and the spinal, it's like just, I mean, I know it's probably cooking my brain. I'm like scrambling my fucking synapses by taking anesthesia. But it's just like so amazing to not have to worry about it, not think about it. No, like no pain, no like, hey, this is going to hurt, whatever. Just fucking knock them out.
Anesthesia in the 1880s, and the first drug to be used for this purpose was none other than cocaine.
Let's fucking go.
It was first isolated.
Now, this is a party that I'm down with. You know what I mean? We got whippets and we got cocaine. Okay? Back in the day, I would have been all about this. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking party and let's start taking off some limbs. You know what I mean? Let's start, you know what I mean? Let's start experimenting. I'm going to do some, I know it's supposed to be for you, but I'm going to do a little bit, one for me, one for you. You know what I mean? I'm going to do a little cocaine. I'm going to take a little bit of this nitrous, and we're going to get silly with it. You know what I mean? We just get silly with it. I call it silly surgery. And we just have fun. You know what I mean? Take a finger off. See if you feel, do you feel that? Haha. And we're like, no, like, you're just laughing. Like, ah, yeah. See? This is fun. Silly surgery.
South American coca plant in 1855, and was initially used for various purposes, like hunger suppression, as an energy stimulant, and even to treat morphine addiction.
I guess, cocaine does like numb, you know what I mean? A local numbing agent, I suppose, but like, not really that, you know?
Effectiveness as a local anesthetic after a rather gruesome experiment in which he applied a solution of cocaine to his eye and was able to prick the eye with a pin without flinching.
Love it.
This discovery would lead it to be administered for things like eye surgery.
I got to do this quick. Hey, I got to do this quick test of my thing. Does it work? I'm going to shove this needle in my eye. You know, it's like, maybe we could have gone through the, you know, maybe the hand. You know what I mean? There's other places we could have done it. The eye. But I like it. You know what I mean? He went for it, and I like that. I appreciate that.
But cocaine had toxic effects on the heart and had a high potential for addiction, leading cocaine to be replaced by synthetic compounds that had a similar structure to it, such as procaine and lidocaine.
Yeah, motherfuckers were like breaking their own arms back in the day just so they could get in the surgery room and get some of that fucking, that pure Colombian Bam Bam.
Anesthesia. The trio of nitrous oxide, ether, and chloroform remained the mainstay of the field for nearly 100 years, after which they were superseded by safer and more effective drugs, thus reducing the complications of surgery even further. The concepts that there was a triangle of anesthesia would gain prominence in the 1940s, and from then on, it became standard for surgeries to use a combination of drugs. Nowadays, in a typical surgery, an anesthetist will use a strong analgesic to block any pain sensation, sedating agents that render a person unconscious, and lastly, muscle relaxants, which paralyze the diaphragm and allows a ventilator to breathe for a patient. Evolution of anesthesia has been key in transforming surgery from the unattractive branch of medicine that it once was, to the sophisticated and complex field that it is today. And anesthesia has been proven to be important in other branches outside.
But does it make you go brain dead is the real question. So that's a fun little, okay, now we've learned some things. Wasn't that fun? See, it's an educational broadcast here. You know, we're having fun, we're learning stuff. I would like to know if it's nuking your brain or not, though.
Of the operation. A breathing tube will be inserted through your mouth and into your throat to help you breathe. A catheter will be placed in your bladder to drain your urine. Coronary artery bypass surgery generally takes 3 to 6 hours.
I think
during a conventional bypass,
when you like first wake up, remember sort of like coming to like in the ICU, like going from a zombie state to like, you know, coming back to the waking world. Do they take the breathing tube out then? Like right when you become conscious, they take it out, or what? Or was it in there for a while? I can't fucking remember that. Like the 4 hours of twilight of like the anesthesia like just wearing off and waking up, I can't really remember. Yeah, so you had it in. Yeah, I think that's in, right? And then you wake up, and I think at that point they're like, okay, we can take it out. I remember I had they put like the oxygen in so that I could at least get something, because you can't like. I don't remember the breathing tube being taken out. Maybe I was still like too fucked up on the anesthesia, and it was like it happened quick. I remember they put the oxygen in my nose, and it was like the only way that I could get any fucking oxygen or breathe, because like there was just no way I could open my like I didn't want to breathe, which is like then how you get pneumonia and die. That's how everybody dies after surgery, because you're not like moving your lungs and you develop fluid in there, and that fluid, whatever, something happens and you get pneumonia. And they like want you to expel your lungs, but like just the slightest movement was like so fucking painful.
I bet.
I think I woke up, it was in, and went back to sleep. Then I woke up with it gone. Possibly I was on a lot of morphine. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure like in that state of like when you first start waking up, a bunch of shit is happening. But I do know that they said like the most the time when people die the most, right? Like after a heart surgery or any sort of like specifically the heart surgery, it was like 3 or 4 hours after I woke up and my body was in shock and I was in all of the pain. No, I think I vaguely remember having to cough it out. I don't know. Maybe medical shows are altering my memory. Yeah, you've watched too much ER and Grey's Anatomy, and now everything is just. You're like, I'm pretty sure Patrick Dempsey was my doctor, and I don't know, something happened, and he was definitely there. Also, Patrick Dempsey, Maine man, he's a Maine boy. Yeah, but the way that you die is like a couple hours later, and you develop the fever, which I ended up getting like a really bad fever. I was like so fucking hot, boiling to 104 or something. And you get that fever, and then you can't breathe because your chest is fucked up. And then that's how you develop the pneumonia. And that's like when most people, and I think the people who are most susceptible to that are oldies and fatties. Again, with peace and love. We love our fat, you know what I mean? Sorry. But I got that fever and whatever, was able to break it. I think a couple times without developing pneumonia. That would fucking have sucked big time.
Surgery. Your surgeon begins by making an incision in the
here it
skin
is.
over your breastbone or sternum.
Here we fucking go.
He or she will then cut the sternum and
this
move
is the
your
wild
rib
part.
cage in order to get to your.
Yeah. So that cut is just absolutely wild. Do they do that with a fucking saw? Or like a I wonder if they do it with an electric saw, or I think they're like legitimately on you, like just fucking torquing your ass. How do surgeons cut through sternum? They do it with a saw, electric, I think, like a little round one. Okay, just want to all the way up. Oh, God, dude. How fucked up is that? To cut through the sternum, surgeons will cut through your skin with a scalpel starting between your two collarbones. Cut through the middle of your sternum with a sternal saw from top to bottom. Put in a tool, the retractor, to move your split sternum apart. Possibly remove part or all of your thymus gland. If you're a child, for better visibility, open your pericardium, the sac around your heart. Oh, my God, dude. Yeah, dentist from Little Shop of Horrors vibe. They'd be having too much. Yeah, and it's that same sound. Oh! Like the worst ASMR of all time is that fuck. Oh, God damn. I don't know. What did I do? Ah, fuck. Did I fuck up? Yeah. All right, where were we? Oh, no, not this one.
A cardiothoracic
No,
surgery.
not you. You.
Your heart. Throughout the procedure.
Yeah, and then just open you up. the spreader bar thing. Yeah, that's like, it's just totally open you. That, I mean, like now, one of the, like this far out, one of the things that still bothers me the most is like all the cartilage, all the shit like in here. Like I still can't like sleep on my side because of the compression, and everything is like so sore. And if I do, then like when I wake up, it's just like mega fucking painful. Auto mod held. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I allowed it. They didn't it's freak out, I think is what it auto modded, which is weird. Yeah, no bone. They're like no bone chat. But yeah, so that still fucks with me. That pressure, like if my dog is like laying on me or like tries to get up, it's still like super sensitive. Do you have wires tying your sternum closed? I do, and if you touch them, it freaks me out. My cat likes to step on them. It makes me want to vomit. I don't have... Wait, do I? Oh, yeah, my sternum wires. Yeah, I have sternum wires. I can't feel them. But you know what's fucked up? And I'm getting... I have to get a nuclear stress test because I can't fucking tell when I lift, like if I do like chest exercises specifically. Anything where I'm like in this area... The next day, everything like burns. Like my throat burns, my chest burns, like as if you were like breathing, and when you breathe in, it's like a super fucking burn sensation. And it happens after I like work out hard, and like in the sternal wires are like, I don't know, scraping something maybe. It's fun, you get an x-ray and they're like, what the fuck is that? Oh yeah, or when I had to do my my spinal shit, the MRI, like they almost fried me because I had to go to a special MRI machine for the sternal wires, and they almost didn't catch it, and I would have been fucking microwaved. And I gave them one last, like, I'm like, are you sure I can with the sternal wires? And she's like, let me go check. And she's like, oh yeah, this machine, like, well, you can't do it. Like you have to go to I had to go to like a different town to do it. I was in the fucking gown, like about to go in and be fucking frozen burritoed. Molten on the inside, cold on the outside. Yeah, so I don't know what it is, if it's the sternal wires that every time it moves around. But like now I'm still like, I can feel it because I like worked out earlier. But it mimics the same sensation of like a heart attack or your arteries like seizing, whatever. It's a burning sensation and like weird random pains throughout your chest. So it creates this, like, for a while I had such insane medical anxiety because every sensation that was like that, like, triggered me into, like, fight or flight panic mode. Like, I'm fucking dying. I have to go to the emergency room now. And as that sort of weaned off, but it's still like this shit happens, I'm like, fuck, I don't know if it's, like, this after effect of these sternal wires. I don't have that problem, but I can physically touch my wires and feel them. Yeah, that would be disgusting. I can't do that. Maybe I can't. I don't want to. You know what I mean? I don't think I've really gone digging around in there to see. Everything. There are like these really weird bumps and like divots that were definitely not there before, like on the side, that feel like not right. It just feels like generally weaker for sure. Like if I got punched in the chest or you know what I mean? Or just like fell, I just feel like it's definitely fucking breaking in half. Luckily, I have boobs, so stuff doesn't get all up. Yeah, that's true. Your body has a anatomy force field. You know, you've got the girls are out there protecting you. They're doing their duty. You know, the two defenders. Boobs. You know what I mean? Who would have thought? They're great for so many things. You know, they've got so many different qualities, characteristics, and we love boobs for that. You know what I mean, people? Isn't that right, people? We love boobs. We're huge boob people here in this stream. Oh, usually I have this already queued up. I got to get a soundboard. I was trying to get one with the when I was using the Twitch thing, but it like fried and nuked everything. But now that I'm using the OBS, I think I can get one so I don't have to look up sound effects on YouTube. Yeah, let's give it. And
When you're launching a new product,
you're just killing the vibe here, YouTube.
Tone suggestions can
Idiot. And yeah, okay, and yeah, let's give it up for boobs, people. Yeah, okay, we love them. We're big fans of boobs here, people. They're soft, they're round, aesthetically pleasing. Sometimes you can use them as a pillow even to lay down, and they're also defenders of the heart. They slice, they dice, they do everything, folks. Grab yours now. We love boobs here, baby. Brave browser will nix the ads. It's free. Okay, yeah. Ooh, good idea. Because I do that too when I go to bed and I'm watching some. I do a lot of like cosmology shit, like listening to scientists talk about, quarks and fucking, whatever, and then an ad will play and take me out of it. So I'll do that for sure. That's a good idea. But yeah, so whatever. The sternal wires, they fucking suck, and I have. You probably have it too. I don't know. I have like actual wires that were hooked up to the external pacemaker that I had after the surgery that you have to have so they can monitor your heart. They just end up leaving. They cut them and then they leave them in. And she's like, "Hey, if you end up like losing weight," which I have, not that I was like even that big before. Where the fuck was it? Maybe it's like under my tits, maybe somewhere. I can't remember. She's like, if you lose enough weight, you'll like see the wires. They'll poke out, and then you have to clamp them. They gave me a clamp. I don't know what the fuck. They gave me a clamp 8 months ago while I was like up to my tits on fucking pain meds, and like here, at some point in the future, a wire might come out of your chest. Clamp it with this and come into the emergency room. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I see 5 of you right now, and I'm very sleepy. Like I'm in a lot of pain and I'm sleepy. But yeah, so that can happen too. I think they used to. So they had these little nodes that attach to your heart, right? So that the pacemaker can read the vibes of your heart. There's probably a science word, but I like to go with the vibes of your heart. And they're on there, and they used to like just fucking 1, 2, 3, and then yank them like a goddamn fucking loose tooth in a door. They told you that while you were on pain meds, so you just be like, okay, instead of fucking excuse. Yeah, they like to just take advantage of you at all times when you're on the pain meds. So like, here, I need you to sign this. Here you go. And then I did while I was on a lot of pain medications. Speaking of that, I did last will and testament. They're like, you have a last will and testament? And I was like, no, because I didn't. You know what I mean? Think I was gonna die at the ripe age of 27. Right? Hello. And so yeah, I'm like up to my tits on fucking opiates, like writing out like my fucking last will and testament. Like, who gets my dog? I mean, that's the only thing that I have. But yeah, so they had those little nodes and they rip them off of your heart, and they were like, and then we determined that actually is worse in the future, and and it like fucks up your heart muscle. So we just leave the nodes on there, and then trim the wire as much as possible. So and then maybe at some point it'll
your circulatory
rear its
system
little
may
head.
Be connected to a cardiopulmonary bypass pump or heart-lung machine. This machine may temporarily perform the functions of your heart and lungs during the surgery, allowing your heart to be stopped if desired while the surgeon sews the grafts into place. Don't
they shut your like heart off? Or no, the heart is the only organ that can stop its function and start up again, right? Isn't that the thing? Everything else, if you shut it down, like it just like won't restart. Like that's why they have your lungs on that machine. That's just like, it's like a steampunk thing. It's like, and your lungs are just like, doing their thing while you're not breathing. But I'm pretty sure they stop your heart so they can fucking get up in there. You know what I mean? They don't want to be like in the mix, and then you get a big like little compression or something, so they stop your heart, which is also insane. Your brain, you're in the fucking mental void, right? You're in la la land with the anesthesia, and then your heart is totally stopped, and your but you have to, you're like shh, and then you have the heart and lung machine, which is also fucking insane. I don't know if they show that in this video, but it's like in your carotid artery, they're just bypassing your heart and using your like carotid artery and this machine to pressurize to keep the blood flowing through your body for the fucking 14 hours that you're out. Just like so fucking insane.
Different blood vessels may typically be used for the grafts. The internal thoracic arteries in the chest, also known as internal mammary arteries, or the saphenous veins in the legs. For the internal thoracic artery graft, your surgeon will leave the upper end attached to the subclavian artery.
All right, nerd alert.
Divert the lower end.
I'm just here for, you know what I mean? I'm here for the gore porn. What is all this?
Coronary artery, just beyond the blockage. Your surgeon will then sew the graft into place. For the saphenous vein graft.
I think about how it was 4 pounds, 7 ounces. Yeah, dude, that is so crazy. I think about how it was 4 pounds, 7 ounces at my first surgery. So how did they even fiddle around in there? It'd be so little. Yeah, it's like, you know what I mean? That can't even get their fucking big fat fingers. And my surgeon, I remember, was a pretty big fat dude. Had sausage fucking fingers. He's trying to get in there. I imagine them holding those little plastic hands in their hands to do so. Yeah, if I wrote a medical comedy show, that'd definitely be in there. Yeah, just like, how do we do this? Oh my God. Like, at that little, you were 4 pounds? So you must have been, so you were premature, I think, I don't know. I think that means premature. So is that why? Does that have some correlation with like the valve not being able to properly have time to like gestate or like become fully developed, or was it just sort of a coincidence? Like you happened to be premature and this thing just happened at the same time. But like, oh my God, dude, I've seen babies who also have to go through like that same surgery. It's so fucking insane. And imagine like not knowing, like you're 1 or 2 months or whatever the fuck it is. Like you don't understand like pain or like what you can and can't do. And you're just like, oh, this is this is life. I just get born and like, this is what it is. Sick. This is super cool. Can I go back in now, please? You know what I mean? Where's that lady? I want to go back in. This sucks. I was 4 pounds when I was born, but my heart was working so hard to work with all my leaks. Okay, I see. Like all my leaks and inefficiencies that I was constantly losing weight until I went into cardiac arrest, at a checkup. Oh, so you were just like there at a checkup randomly. And they had to airlift me. Well, that was kind of good timing. Airlift me to a big hospital in Little Rock. But yeah, I was a little premature, but the thing I was born with would have been there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, good fucking timing. You know? Oh, dude. Like, you're like, hey, life sucks. You know what I mean? This, you know what I mean? I came out, was crying. That was pretty, you know what I mean? That was pretty traumatic for me. I was like super comfortable. That, you know what I mean? There's this light and some freakazoid is grabbing me. And I'm like super comfortable. You know what I mean? I got food, free rent, food. You know what I mean? The whole thing. Motherfucker yanks me out, and now I've got a fucking heart surgery. This sucks, dude. And then you got to be like, hey, you know what? Actually, it only gets worse. You know, life in general. So, yeah, got to go back in. Got to find a way to get back in the womb. Me now, still.
Your surgeon will suture one end to the aorta and the other end to the narrowed artery, just beyond the blockage. With the graft securely in place, your surgeon may use electrical signals to restore the heartbeat and attach a temporary pacemaker to the heart.
Knock, knock, knock. You still there?
Once your heart is
Hello, you
again
still working?
beating normally, if the surgeon used the heart-lung machine, it would be disconnected. Your surgeon will wire the breastbone back together and suture the skin incision closed.
This seems like a very.
Placed through the skin beneath the incision.
Oh, whoops.
When the
Oh,
surgeon
that was the.
chooses
Wait, was that the tube? Seems like a very PG version of like.
temporary drainage tube will
Yeah.
be placed through the skin.
I had
beneath the
two.
incision.
So here, let's see if I can show. I had two. Can you see it? Yeah, I had two drainage tubes right here. Ow. Double the fun, double the pleasure, double the
When
fun.
the surgeon chooses to do the surgery without using the heart-lung machine, the heart continues to beat. This may be referred to as off-pump bypass surgery or minimally invasive surgery.
No, that's for
Instead,
rookies.
a mechanical device is used to steady the part of the heart where the grafting is being done. Surgeons perform minimally invasive bypass procedures using specially designed instruments.
No, we went for the real
After
thing.
surgery, you will be taken to the intensive care unit. The activity of your heart...
Yeah, when I was also, like, when I was in the hospital recovering, I was only there for like 4 days. Recovering. And it's just me and a bunch of fucking Myrtles and Harolds, like a bunch of 80-year-olds, and you have to get up and walk. Like, they try to get you to walk as soon as you can, right? That's also another super fun part when you're like wanting to die and you're sitting there in so much pain. Also, at the same time, I was dealing with, so I had my herniated disc was out. So I had this like horrible sciatic pain that I had for like a year and a half. And it was always really bad laying down and like in the hospital bed. So I was just like in pain, and like I would have to try to get up, and that's fucking hurting. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I was able to walk no problem when I was still on morphine. Really? I had such a hard time trying to get up out of the bed, just because it was like the way. Also, like I was telling you, the pain meds, I was playing catch up, right? So they weren't working. So I didn't have the full fucking force, of morphine, man, in my veins, letting me do the impossible. So like trying to get up was like so fucking whatever. So once you started getting going, I'm just like in the hallways, and it's just like what's up, Gertrude? Like, hey, you're talking to everybody else who's also had the surgery, just like fucking waddling around. I was just doing laps over those fucking oldies, you know what I mean? No sympathy. I was like, move it, Grandma. I gotta get the fuck out of here. I put my, like you put a stick in a spoke in a wheel. I just put my cane on their stroller. Get out of here.
And air from the chest cavity.
And then that's also in recoveries when I fell in love with my nurse. God, it was a whole thing. What do they call? Did we determine what that was called? Florence Nightingale? Nightingale? Oh God, Nightingale syndrome? Is that a thing? Nightingale syndrome, or Florence Nightingale effect, is a psychological phenomenon in which a caregiver develops romantic and or sexual feelings for a patient. Hello. It is not a medical syndrome, but rather a term to describe the emotional bond that may form between... Look, that shit is so fucking real. Like, I'll be honest. Like, it got... Where the fuck was I? It got so fucking real with this, who I won't, dox or out. But the intense, like the super intense vulnerability that you're having, you're fucking dead. I was in so much pain. To sort of like quickly describe what was happening. I hadn't slept, right? I woke up. I was under anesthesia for 14 and a half hours. I woke up at like 8 o'clock. I remember like at midnight, the shit wore off, right? So then, boom, at the stroke of midnight, all the pain, bang, hits me. And I remember just staring at, there was a clock on the wall. It just happened to be right in front of the fucking bed of the hospital, which was, I don't know if that's on purpose or is a terrible idea, because I'm just like watching second by second, like... So I do that from midnight to like 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the morning. Can't do anything besides watch the clock because I'm in so much fucking pain and I want to die. Then they're like, hey, dude, you're not dead. You got to get out of fucking ICU. Something else is coming. You're like, it's like fucking, you know what I mean? They're herding cattle in that motherfucker. They just don't give a shit. I'm like, I don't know. Are you sure? Because it certainly feels like this could be a better place for me. They're like, no, get the fuck out of here, dude. Then I have to like move to this like regular room. Motherfuckers drop me off in the normal ass room that I'm just staying in. I don't see anybody for like an hour and a half, and I couldn't reach the fucking the call button. So all I wanted was food, and which I found everybody who I then asked after was like, what? Like nobody wants to eat. I was like, I need fucking peanut butter. I need toast. I need something in my fucking stomach. But I'm like trying desperately to get somebody. They just like wheeled my fucking ass in a room and left. They're like, see you, dude. Fucking good luck. And I think it was the nurse like switch over at 7. So the guy didn't check on me, and then the other person who came on was doing their rounds but didn't know. So I'm just sitting there like fucking dying. I'm trying to find the goddamn call button. I'm hungry. I'm in so much pain. I've just been looking at this clock for fucking 8 hours, you know? I was in the fucking zone, you know what I mean? It was wartime. I was in the fucking trenches, just clinging on for like actual dear life. Like I've never before had to like fight and have will to survive. You know what I mean? Like I had to be like, I have to concentrate on living, because it's like if I slip for a second, I think that's fucking, you know what I mean? That's it. So anyways, all this is happening. It's so fucking intense. It was dark in the room, I remember. All the shades were down, which was good. I didn't want to fucking see the light anyways. But I was like, it was dark the entire time in the ICU. And at like 8 o'clock, this is so, I hate this fucking. But once I was back home, there was something like an air bubble against my esophagus or something, because, you know, there's a bunch of air in there now, right? And it hurt so much to swallow food, so I could hardly eat, but I was so hungry, and I cried at McDonald's commercial because the hamburger looked so good. Yeah, I was hungry too. Apparently they say like not a lot of people like are hungry because they feel fucked up, but it was like after waking up after like you're drunk or hungover or something, and you just need it in your body. Like I needed sustenance. Insert the correct word and now. Yeah, I just like needed food, something in my fucking stomach, and nobody was there. So anyway, so it was like all of these hours, all by myself, dark, just staring at the fucking clock. I haven't had like any interactions really with any of the nurses, and then literally the door opens. And like a fucking movie, the light from the door, it's just like sustenance. Thank you. Thank you. The light opens and it's like a fucking heaven's gates. Like, like angel. If I had the soundboard right now, I'd hit the angel button. And this nurse comes in and and she's like, looks at me and she's like, what the fuck is going on? Because I think I was like this, like, I look so bad. She's like, what's going on? I'm like, I'm dying. She's like, when was the last time someone was here? I was like, I don't know. They just put me in here. She's like, what the fuck? I was like way behind on all my meds and all this shit. And she's like, what is happening? Like, whatever. So then we kind of start, and then that was sort of the beginning of our romance. And it was, you know, because it was such a trauma bond. I was in so much pain, and she was like the only one that like cared for me, because I'd had other nurses, but they were like, you know, doing what nurses do, which is, you know, and peace and love, and we love our nurses, you know what I mean? And some of them are great, like this one, but some of them not so great. Some of them kind of bitches, you know what I mean? Like kind of huge bitches, and just don't give a shit. So I had a lot of those ones. So finally, this nurse came in, and she like everything, like she was there, she was attentive, she was like, you know what, I'm gonna have somebody else like get my other patients, and I just want to be like here for a little while. So she was with me for like hours and hours and hours, while I was like coming back to life, right? Like, and I hadn't slept, so everything was on such like overdrive, like your skin, like the pain, everything was like maximum, because I hadn't slept. And finally, like I was able to get like an hour or so nap in, came back, and like was sort of coming back, like, okay, I am me, you know, I am Tegan, I'm back in this world, like I feel sort of normal. And she was my nurse for like 4 days in a row. So we like went through the whole entire thing together. She walked in on me one day when I was washing the nether region. We had a laugh. Oh boy, did we laugh. Just a lot of flirt and whatever. And there was a little bit of a, you know, wires were crossed. We had a little thing, and then we started talking after, and then it got a little serious. And then I think then she got probably very much in her head about like the efficacy. Kelsey hit me in the chat. The ethics of what it was like to be talking to a patient, like, you know, romantically, sexually, like after this intense ordeal. But it was like, you know, I certainly didn't feel like I was the one that was in the vulnerable position, right? But I was like all about it, and it almost felt like serendipitous to have this relationship with this person in this time, at this moment of vulnerability, and having that person who's like taking care of you So I was kind of, and then I got like in my head about how like, oh my God, this has to be the one. Like I'm here. I just had heart surgery. You know, I'm dying. Shit, it's her. And then we're having this connect, you know. But alas, you know, love, it comes, it goes. Mostly it goes. Mostly it go. I found that it goes. Not so much comes, you know. Well, not for you, Kelly. You and Steve have been together for fucking ever. So you know what I mean. Keep it to yourself, okay? Don't rub it in, all right? Not me and my nurse, who I fell in love with 13 years. That's so fucking crazy. I remember thinking it was crazy that you guys were just so serious when we were like in our 20s. You know what I mean? Like, cause I was like, I'm in fucking New York. I'm going you know what I mean? I was a little bit more mischievous, sexually mischievous. You know, I was like a little. I was gonna say Peter Pan, but that's weird. I was, you know, something like, you know, just bouncing around here and there or whatever. And I was like, it just was so crazy to me that you guys were so serious. You know what I mean? Because New York, there's so much happening. There's hot people all over the place. But fuck, man, it's so awesome that that you guys were able to stick it out. And then I liked him so much, and I was like, oh, funny thing, I was trying to date a bunch of women and was dating. Oh, okay, I was dating women when I met Steve. Then really? I actually didn't know that. And he had just come back from Iraq and was also trying to date around. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what it happens like that. It's, you know what I mean? It's fate. And then you guys had it. And I'm pretty sure I had it with my nurse. And apparently she didn't feel the same. I was scared to date women. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Arkansas is like, there was the old school Ollie G show that was on HBO in like 2005. It was Bruno, but before the Bruno movies, and he was always like, I'm in the gayest state of Alabama or Arkansas or whatever. It's like, and everybody was so not on board with that. So it's like, yeah, we're going to want to leave Arkansas before we, you know, become who we are. Yeah, dude, it was just like, yeah, Arkansas is not the best. Maine, however, hello, this is fucking lesbian capital of the world, baby. We are like, you know what I mean? We're Subaru'd the fuck out up in this motherfucker. Lot of lesbots. My whole family, my grandmother, lesbian. By both of my aunts, lesbians. And we're talking like hardcore. They work at the BIW shipyard, you know what I mean? Shipyard lesbians. Rough. They're like tougher than most dudes. Really, you know what I mean? Grimy kind of lesbians. Not so much the lipstick lesbians here. I'm sure there's a few, but, you know, at least in my circle of my family, it was all like, hey, fucking drinking their coffee brandy and smoking cigs and scissoring or what, you know what I mean? I don't know, what, you know, whatever it was. Driving their Subarus. But yeah, Maine, which is not like, I mean, we're pretty liberal coast, but there's a lot of conservative places and people all over Maine, but like I think we were one of the first states, or if not the first state, to legalize gay marriage. So the gay thing has like always been, even in the like conservative corner of the state, like always been acceptable. Like they don't really, you know what I mean? It's not like a thing like in the South where they're like, you gonna burn. You know, you going to hell and you gonna burn. Also, we're not as crazy religious as they are in the South. So that might have something to do with it. What I want to... okay, I'm just going to quickly look. I want to see if they have any like actual footage. Like nothing too gory and gross, but...
From Physicians Clinic of Iowa.
When you can't fix it.
During open heart surgery, the heart is stopped and a heart and lung machine is used while the surgeon works on the stopped heart.
For us to be able to operate on a motionless, virtually bloodless field, we put them on cardiopulmonary bypass or heart-lung machine. So that requires us putting in big tubes or big cannulas into the heart that will drain blood and give blood back to the heart. And then ultimately what we do is we use a high potassium solution to cause the heart to stop. So the heart now is no longer beating, which allows us to work without the heart moving as we're trying to do things. During that time, we cool the
just so crazy to think it's like you're just that, just that fucking like dead body, like just sitting there.
To try to get accomplished what we need ultimately to get
As the surgery gets underway, the patient's sternum or breastbone is cut to allow access to the heart.
The surgeon typically works on harvesting what's called the internal mammary artery off the front side of the chest plate. So it allows us to work kind of simultaneously so we can be productive and we can be efficient through the operation. The biggest part of coronary surgery or bypass surgery is you got to have conduit, whether it's arteries or veins. And so for us today, it was an artery from the chest plate and 2 veins from the leg.
The surgeon works in tandem with the physician assistant to harvest healthy blood vessels, which will be used to bypass the blocked area.
The harvesting of the vein in the left leg, historically, or many, many years ago, the way that was done was through a large open incision down the inside part of the leg, and you would take this, the greater saphenous vein out. And over the last, I would say 20, 25 years or so, techniques and equipment has been developed to basically make a small incision by the knee, and you have a camera with a dissector on the end of it, and you can kind of tunnel it up and down the leg to basically clear the vein and free the vein up of the surrounding tissue, so ultimately just pull the vein out with only a small incision by the knee. And that's greatly improved, I think, patient comfort, patient satisfaction after surgery.
Once the surgery is complete, the heartbeat is restored and the patient is disconnected from the bypass machine.
When we're ready to start the heart again, as I mentioned, the heart's been cooled for a period of time. The heart's got a lot of potassium in it, so we give basically warm blood. We call it a hot shot. It's basically warm blood that's delivered directly to the heart. It does 2 things. One is it washes out any remaining potassium that's potentially circulating around the heart muscle itself.
Potassium?
The other thing it does is
They just eating bananas in the fucking in the surgical room? That's bananas, right? Potassium? They're just fucking munching on some bananas, dropping it in there.
Ideally, you want the heart to start beating. Occasionally, the heart isn't quite ready to start beating again. And hearts that are sicker than normal, and in Scott's case, he's got kind of a sick heart. The heart can fibrillate, and so when the heart begins to fibrillate, you got to use these paddles to defibrillate or shock the heart to get it back into a normal rhythm.
During the final step in today's procedure, wire is used to close the chest.
And when we're done, you check everything, make sure everything's hemostatic, nothing's bleeding. Fortunately for Scott, everything seemed to be pretty secured, nothing's bleeding. And then closing of the chest, there's multiple ways to close the chest. The most common way to close it is with surgical stainless steel wires. And so for Scott, he got a combination of 7 wires in total, a combination of single and double wires. The double wires are just added for protective strength, so the bone can
All right.
So the wires are designed to hold
Okay,
it.
we got it. All right. I'm gonna put this on. Okay, I think that's you know what I mean? I think that's it. We did it. We did the damn thing. We came in. We watched the heart videos. Storm recap 2024. And I super appreciate you hanging, Kels. That's awesome. It was really great to be able to hang and talk and catch up. So thank you so much for hanging, and come in anytime. You know what I mean? I'm gonna start streaming every day. Thank you. I'm gonna start streaming every day and have kind of a different a different theme every day, just to kind of keep me motivated, and so when I'm like, oh, I don't have anything to talk about, I'll have some sort of structure or organization, just to get myself to do it for an hour or 2 or something at night. Because another thing, after the oh shit, I gotta turn this down. After the surgery is for so long I was just isolated and at home, right? Because months went by where I couldn't really do anything, couldn't walk, couldn't drive, whatever, from the heart surgery. And then I was saying, 4 months after that, I had the spinal surgery. So I had all the recovery that I made, then just fucking went straight to the trash again when I had the spinal surgery, and I had to start all over. So then it was another 3-4 months of not really being able to do anything. So it kind of developed the habit of obviously I have to have lifestyle changes because of the heart. So it's I'm not that I was really going out and partying and going too crazy anyways anymore, but this sort of just doubled it. So when I'm home and I'm here, I'm okay, rather than just, watching Game of Thrones for the 5th fucking time all the way through, maybe I'll just stream and be semi productive. So I'm doing, every day is a different, kind of theme thing where we'll watch, we'll do some react videos and watch fun videos or murder videos or Toga Tuesdays, where I'm trying to get this debate thing started. I got my buddy Lucas Graybeal, who You might know him from the movies High School Musical. He said he'd come on. And I just want to do these like in the toga and then have the background be like the Greek Colosseum. Wait, I think do I have it on here? Yeah. So I have this like already lined up, and I'll be in the toga. And then it's like you're drinking wine. I have a random debate generator where it's just like silly, stupid topics. Like, should kids go to school or like do aliens, whatever, nothing like crazy and real. But then just like everybody has a minute to like present. It's like improv comedy sort of thing. You have a minute to do your idea. You can do one too. If you wanted to do it, I can. I want anybody to participate who's like in chat. And I can star you if you want to do it, or anybody, people who are in the chat. And then they can either be on video or just audio, and just, you know what I mean? Just have like do 2 or 3 of them or something, get a minute on the clock. So I'm just going to try to figure out some things of and in that nature to keep it like interesting. Because otherwise it's like, why am I, you know what I mean? I don't actually have, I sort of hate how it's so oversaturated. It's like, what do you actually have to talk about? Unless someone has a particular point of view or a knowledge in something, it seems that everybody's just kind of talking into the, void, which is sort of what I'm doing now. So I want to have, have like a game or thing or something to do that's not just me blah, 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 doing what I do best. Bullshit. And I had it all on the Twitch program. I had my all my cards set up, like my end card with like a whole transition thing, so it was seamless. But I haven't done it on this OBS yet. I'll have to go in after, because I have like my little outro song. Let's go. This is my buddy Luke, who used to, I mean, he still does tour and play now, but he was and is like a really big and amazing musician. I think it was a good ending vibe song. I don't know if this is the right one. Also, just loving was it Fantasy Fridays or I'm going to watch, because I'm a huge dork, and there's like this really awesome Tolkien Universe Lord of the Rings page that this guy does, who I fucking love. He's so funny and good, and it like goes through the entire lore of the Valinor, of the Valar, the Maiar, blah blah blah. So I'm gonna like watch some of his videos and do some like, I think you're a Lord of the Rings gal, right? And fantasy books, like there's a good YouTube channel that breaks down the King Killer Chronicles, which is like my favorite books. So watch like little shit like that. So no on Friday when we do Fantasy Friday, no jocks allowed, nerds only. And I say, if your muscles are any bigger than that, you're not allowed in. For nerds only. This is the jock meter. After that, not allowed. Yeah, so there'll be some nerd stuff, and then maybe I'll play. Like, I was playing Magic a little bit, because I don't really play. You're a big gamer and into that kind of shit, but I don't really play that many games. I do play Magic the Gathering, so I might fuck with playing with that a little bit, just because it's something to, something to do. Steve used to travel to compete. Now he travels to paintball. Oh, cool, nice. Very different vibes. Paintball and Magic the Gathering. Sort of a different, physicality to them. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. Yeah, were you super into like The Sims 2 or something? I feel like I've seen that kind of style. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just like, I have like I've playing The Sims right now. Nice. I fucking called it. Hello. Yeah, I just have like too much like ADD brain in the way that it doesn't like help me focus to play a game. I just like, I can't stay in one world for too long. I just learned if you can make Sims die of... Oh, you can... Really? Interesting. So yeah, I'll probably play a little Magic. The app, like the app that I have on my phone that I play Magic on, which is the same server or whatever that I've downloaded on my computer, is super fucking amazing and so easy because it does like all the math and shit for you. Otherwise, you're there, like, I'm sure Steve knows, like, physically, if you're doing it, like, trying to, this does a 1-1 to this one, and then it takes a fucking million years. I'm making a comedian with a kill room, so where he's so funny, everyone dies. That's amazing. That's hilarious. All right, well, yeah, okay. Thank you for hanging, Kels. Peace and love, and then, you know what I mean? Stop by anytime, you know? Thank you, too.